Sarah,
Yes.
did you know that Southern's president was retiring?
What do you think he'll do next?
Consider this conversation ignited. Hey guys, welcome back to Ignite. My name is Aaron Patterson and I am a sophomore out of the School of Journalism and Communications.
Hey guys, my name is Sarah Manuel and I'm also a sophomore out of the School of Journalism and Communication.
Today we have an incredibly interesting topic. So why
Yeah.
don't you, like one of our most prestigious guests, like as prestigious as it gets, the president of the
we're
USA.
No. President Dave Smith of SAU.
Of the SAU.
Yeah,
Dyslexic.
that's who we're interviewing.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah,
So
but anyways.
still really cool.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
awesome. I'm excited. Also like your jersey, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought I would go, it says Patterson on the back. This is my dad's old jersey, actually. He
wow.
played on the same football team as the president of SAU. So I guess that actually works after all. It was just a wardrobe
that's
thing,
it.
but
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But before we get into that interview, we're going to go to Cass on the street. So, Cass, take it away.
Hi guys, it's Cass and we're on the promenade today asking students how they feel about President Smith leaving. Let's go. Has President Smith had any impact on your life here at Southern?
Well, this is my first year here, so of course everything that he's doing is affecting me. I don't know what Southern was like before, but so far I enjoy it. I want to be here, finish the semester, and continue on till the end. So
I'd say maybe like some of the COVID safety stuff I feel like he's been pretty involved in, so I think that's good. Also, he just seems like a genuinely cool guy. I don't know. I played ping pong with him once.
He did like a sermon one time, like my sophomore year, and that was pretty funny. It was like about a girl that dumped him and stuff. But like, other than that, I haven't really like interacted with him that much.
Yeah, so I actually met him my freshman year and I got to talk to him a little bit, and I told him that I'm from Hawaii and we were talking about that because he said like he liked it a lot. And then I remember one time randomly during my sophomore year, I was like walking to Halsey from like the dorms, and I like randomly was like walking at the same time as him, and I was just like, hey, how you doing? And he was like, hi, like how's Hawaii, how's the weather? And I was like pretty shocked that he remembered that I was like from Hawaii and stuff. So it was a little thing, but it just meant a lot to me that we had a president that like actually cares about their students and remembers the little things. So
That's so sweet.
I think so. I don't know anything else but this. I'm a freshman, so I think he's kind of the master of, or the head honcho of all decision making. So I think he has had an impact, maybe that I can't see, but I think he has.
Not really. I just feel like he's not really involved in student life. We don't see him that much.
Yes, I feel like he is really personal with the students, and I feel like that's something I certainly saw throughout these 4 years here at Southern.
Not much besides when he would speak for Vespers or maybe a sermon or something, or a convocation. And I distinctly remember those times because I felt like he was an amazing speaker, and I always felt impacted by his speeches and what he had to say. And I know he does make an effort to be friendly on campus when I see him, but I only rarely see him.
I think in a way, all of us as students have experienced his impact as a great leader on this campus. I know that he's sacrificed a lot for us, and he's done a lot to help Southern run as smoothly as it does.
I don't think I knew him like personally that well. I've communicated with him a few times, but every time I've seen him or all the messages I've heard from him have been really positive and uplifting.
I will say no directly, but I feel like he always like reaches out to the students with any concerns. So I would say that not like directly, like face to face, but he always tries to reach out to the students.
I've had the privilege to study at an amazing school, and we've been one of the few campuses that have remained open during COVID, and I've really appreciated his leadership, his forethought, and everything he has done to make this possible so that we could have a good semester.
Man, it's going to be a good episode when Cass is the one doing her segment, and it's not us.
I'm happy that she's back.
Yeah, we do our segment fine.
We try.
Yeah, we try to.
Here we have a very special guest. We are very honored to have you with us. Please introduce yourself for us and to the viewers online.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't already know.
I'm David Smith. I'm president of Southern Adventist University.
Wow.
Yeah, big names, big names. I will say that we had to bribe him a good bit to get. No, I'm kidding. We didn't do any bribing. We didn't do any bribing. So the first question that we wanted to ask you was just about how long you've been here at Southern, whether it's as president or as a teacher. How long have you called this place your place of employing?
Well, I spent 17 years here as a faculty member, and that was from 1981 to 1998. Raised my family here during that time. Both my girls graduated from Southern during that time. My wife also picked up a degree, and then went away and came back for 5 years as senior pastor of the church, but I was on the Southern board during that time. And then this is my 5th year as president of the university. So put it all together, that's either 22 or 27 years, depending how you want to add it.
Wow, so this is a big, I mean, this being the last year you're sort of here at Southern, it's a big, big thing.
Well, it is. I mean, if you think about it, in some ways my life is just rolling forward to this very point, you know, where it's going to make a major pivot. So, yeah, it is a big thing.
Well, that's exciting.
Yes, it is. So coming in as president, what were your goals, your visions, and do you think you accomplished those while your time here?
Well, I didn't want to be president. I'll make some news on your station here.
Wow.
Well, that answers a lot of other questions.
Yeah. I declined the opportunity to be considered 5 different times.
Wow.
And that's because I'd been president somewhere else before that, and I knew what it involved and wasn't planning to end my career doing this. But God moved on me, and that was fine. So when I did finally begin, I knew there were a couple of challenges that I need to face and help the campus with. One of those was customer service. I heard an administrator say to a group of students when I was pastor of the church, "You guys are so lucky to be here because this is a great place." And I remember thinking to myself, you got that upside down and backwards. You know, this is only a great place if they're here. Otherwise, there's nothing great about empty buildings and what have you. So when I became president, I probably heard at least 30 stories from parents, students, constituents, church officers, conference officers, union officers. Each story telling what happened to a particular student and why they were not coming to Southern the year I was becoming president. And in some cases, the families had planned to move here to support their children since the children were born. Grandparents had moved here. I mean, these were big things, and it hit me, you know, we need to set it as a goal to serve each other better, return phone calls, explain things, reach out to people, treat them well. So we went on a journey as a campus my first year as president, brought in some experts to help us on that from the Biltmore House in Asheville. And we spent an entire year just trying to learn how to serve people well and truly be glad they were here. And it made a difference. And that goal was accomplished, at least so far. We can always do better. The other goal was dealing with the diversity on the campus. Southern is the most diverse university in the entire South. And while the South being the South, that may not be saying a lot, it's saying something. And it seemed to me that Southern had not dealt with its diversity, and yet it had become, on the student side of things, very diverse. So we took some steps to begin to address the diversity. The first thing I did, which was just a few weeks into the school year, is I met with the BCU club officers, and I said, give me one thing that you want that if we do it for you, you can see we can operate in good faith and we can move ahead. And they said, we want our own worship service. It was hard for them to go downtown and do the gospel style that they wanted, and they miss out on lunch, different things would happen. So I said, okay, let's do this. And long story short, we created the Merge service. And the Merge service is currently one of the most popular worship services on campus.
It's awesome.
Very excited about it. And we've gone from that to a lot of other initiatives and dealing with issues And we have a long ways to go, but at least we're making progress, and I feel good about that. As far as vision, the big vision I had was Southern was a great school, it was a good school, and it marketed itself really well as this very Seventh-day Adventist conservative Christian place. But I had a real vision that we would be authentically spiritual here, and that our reality would match our vision and our image. So we have worked hard on that. We recently appointed a vice president for spiritual life, Dr. Joseph Cabaz. And
we had him on here. He's awesome.
Oh, he is amazing. I just love to listen to his Australian accent.
I know.
You know, just a great guy, and he's already making a palpable difference on our campus. And we've been doing a number of things to do that. And then the last thing was to make education at Southern a little more practical. If you look at the statistics that anybody can look at today, the average college graduate's going to hold anywhere from 8 to 10 different jobs by the age of 40. Most of those will be outside of the major. And what are we doing to prepare them for that? So we have built into our vision actually for the future a way to prepare better for a multi-career path, and hopefully over time that will catch and help serve our students even better.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's an interesting statistic. I'm interested to see how that'll go for me.
Yeah. Well,
so one of the obvious things in the last little bit, I mean, I have mine right here, it's been COVID-19 and how Southern has stayed open during COVID. I mean, Southern has been one of the only major Adventist universities in the U.S. to stay open during COVID. What's it like being president during a pandemic?
It's been the wildest faith ride of my life. You know, when I was down in Florida for meetings with other Adventist college and university presidents when the pandemic was declared, I couldn't get a flight back, so I had to drive all the way back, and the next day we were vacating campus, we were making decisions. It was just crazy. And going from that situation, trying to figure out what was going on and what could we do and how would this work, to especially planning for this school year, was just a huge challenge. And a huge challenge in part because COVID-19 by its very nature is always one step ahead of you. About the time you make a decision, it's already outdated. And very challenging to keep up with it or to know what you really should be doing. But we had a real great team effort on this campus, and our health services personnel were heroic. They were putting in 60 to 70-hour weeks, just knocking themselves out for a long period of time, and helping us figure out about quarantine, isolation, mask wearing, distancing, eating, there's no end to how COVID-19 affects a life. And so first semester this year, I thought things went pretty well. It looked like maybe we had planned okay and it was all right. Second semester, we were like in crisis at the end of the first week. And that was for any number of reasons. One of them, everybody came back from Christmas break and they had managed to share COVID during Christmas break, so they brought it back to campus. And, you know, I think we had a variant, quite positive we had the British variant. It was documented in the county. And what was happening is our students were getting twice as sick, twice as fast as first semester. And so we were filling up quarantine, we were filling up isolation.
Well, and the numbers had doubled by halfway through the semester.
Oh, yes, yeah, at least. Probably even more than that. And we weren't sure we had the capacity to keep that up. So I made this little video. We had our town hall, we did our emergency meeting, and actually people responded pretty well. And it began to turn, and it kind of plateaued for most of the semester, just stayed at a certain point, not a great point, but we were making it, we made it. But right now, the numbers are the lowest they've been since we've been keeping numbers.
That's
I think
awesome.
Today there are only 4 students with COVID, which is much lower than it was. But the decision making has worn everybody out. We put a few hours into that yesterday, and everybody was saying, I am so tired of this, and
I bet.
you know, enough is enough. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it's like to have that much responsibility on your shoulders about a virus that barely anyone really knows about.
Well, and the other side to that is it didn't matter what you decided, somebody was going to hate you for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the country's so divided and the issue is so political. I mean, there's still people who believe it's not real and all kinds of things. So no matter what you decided, somebody was mad at you and somebody was happy with you. And
Well,
you just
I'll
had to-
admit, a couple times I was like, I caught myself very close to being critical of administration, and then I was like,
Really?
well, you know what? I wouldn't want to be on that team, so I'm not going to do that. I would
just
not want to
such
be on
great
that
thinking
team.
for a Southern student. Wow, I'm so impressed.
Good job, Aaron.
Yeah, thanks.
So as you mentioned before, you were a teacher and then a pastor and then a president. So what now after presidency? What's your plans?
Well, actually, just for the record, I was a teacher at secondary level, teacher at 2 colleges, and then a president for 13 years at Union College in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Really?
And then came here to be a pastor. It was a God thing, and everything has been, which simply says that what's next is what God has. And he's always told me in time, but only in time. So I'm not sure. I believe he has something, and I'm waiting to see what it is. But for now, time with family and my wife, I am really looking forward to it. I will not miss committee meetings just to relax. Wildlife photography is one of my hobbies, so
awesome.
to spend a lot of time out with animals and nature, something I'm really looking forward to. I have lots of hobbies, so I won't be bored. But I do hope to still continue to serve in some significant way, but probably not here at the university.
Relaxing is always nice, though.
Yeah, yeah. So the new president has been announced, and they'll be starting in next semester, if I'm right. They come in next semester?
They'll be here on board by June 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what is one piece of advice that you would offer him as he takes seat here at Southern Adventist?
I would simply say this is God's school. God has a plan for it, and God can see this school through any challenge it faces, just as he had for the last 125 plus years. That's what I'd say to him.
Awesome. Well, when we do that interview with them next semester, we'll run this back and get a full response for that.
We can do that, yeah.
Awesome. So usually we thank the guest right now, but before we do that, we got a little bit of a goodie thing. I mean,
I'm just gonna put my mask.
do something a little bit special. It is the president. So we have my girlfriend here. No, we have a goodie basket here. Sorry, I'm in a lot of trouble now.
Yes, you are. I'll let you dig out of that one. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I don't know if
Sorry,
I'm
babe.
just gonna hold it in your seat.
Wow. That looks like a really great VM gift basket.
Yes, it is. It
Yes,
is something for you to
thank
remember.
Oh,
Well,
that's
as long
so
as
great.
those things last.
I'll
Yeah.
see how much of this makes it back to my office.
Oh man, well we are so grateful to have you here.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come talk to us.
No, that's fine. It was fun.
Out of your life with Southern. I mean, all this time, all the impact that you've left. Thank you so
I do
much.
have a lot of memories. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Your reviews mean the absolute world to us. Also, make sure to check out our IGTV for a full video of Cats on the Street.
This kind of marks a monumental day because our little show has not only interviewed the president of SAU, but this is our last time shooting inside. This is what, episode 11? And it's our last time shooting inside of the studio.
That is very true.
We have one episode left, and it's a car interview with an ex-Adventist pastor. Not ex-Adventist, but ex-pastor from the Adventist church. So that's going to be really, really
Stay tuned
interesting.
for that.
Yes, yes. And stop what you're doing right now and subscribe and then like. And then after you like, you're going to be compelled by the Spirit to comment. And you know the drill. After you comment, you have to click the bell because that lets you know when our next video comes out. But until then, bye.
Adios.